Is that sound now? Should be working. There already. Give me feedback, please. Yep. Is that sound now? Yes. Gotcha. I hear it. I checked it. Should be okay now. Okay. Sometimes that happens and OBS just switches things off and then it just, sometimes I just close my laptop not in the proper way and then it just happens. But anyway, we're back online, right? Okay. Here we go. Always nice to start the day behind the charts. Coffee and looking into it. I'm just not sure. Double check. And looking into it. Just want to keep it on because I'm just not sure if it's something is wrong with OBS. Just give me a test. Yeah, okay, it should be working. Yeah. Okay. There we go. This should be off. Still happens sometimes. It's always good to know if I don't check. You know, when you check, there's nothing wrong, but the moment you don't check, you have you're like talking for 15 minutes and nothing is happening. Well, so far, I mean, we're still in the, I'm looking at NQ is on the screen right now, as you can see. I missed the 2 o'clock, well, I did mark the, between the yellow lines is the 150 to 210 macro. Because I basically think that, obviously it starts around midnight, right? But I think this 2 a.m., the 150 to 210 macro is an important time for some reason, because it sort of like gives you a lot of information for the remaining session. So this one I'm still tracking it. The first week I tracked it, it was really, the first week I tracked that macro, it was just always continuation or it was a very clear manipulation move. But since I made that video, it's just been most of the time consolidation. So I have to redo that video for sure about the 150 to 210, the 2 a.m. London move, because I thought, okay, my God, there's so much opportunity there already. If you don't have time, you know, you can catch the move. But I think there's more to it than initially my first video that I made, but that's okay. I mean, that's how it goes, right? When you are creating a model and you're investigating and things like that. So ongoing, still, I'm doing the same on GC, on gold as well, to see how it works. But for now, yeah, we're in consolidation again. I mean, we're still, well, not really in consolidation. We are sort of like finalizing a market maker buy model, or we're at the buy side of the model right now. I'm not really interested at the moment because we are in a fair value gap. So technically, are we done in this macro, or are we done in this market maker buy model? Are we going to go down or are we going to go up? Now, like I said, is this I'm always trying to see like what is happening in this macro, right? Because this macro, it is a macro. So most of the time, a macro does something. Either it fills out an imbalance, or it seeks liquidity, or it consolidates. But that consolidation can give a lot of information. So I was a little bit busy, so I wasn't behind the computer now. So let's see. Let's go a little bit to the higher time frame, because what I do around at 2 o'clock normally is I go to the 4-hour candle to see what is going on the higher time frame. Because that gives me a lot of information. So here we go. Who's there? Hello, hello, hello. Let me know where you're from, guys, and if there's something specific you want me to talk about. If there's no trades, obviously we go for the trades, but if it's quiet, are there specific topics you want me to go over or things like that? Priority is finding good trades, number one. But sometimes we get stuck in consolidation, especially in London. And then I think it's nice to have some topics to go over, or yeah, let me know whatever you want to talk about. Hey, I would love that. Um, so here is the 4 hour. So we can see here we had a continuation of the 6 o'clock, the 2 o'clock, and now let's see. The new 4 hour candle did not open over the previous close. Oh, it actually did. I'm sorry, it did. So that's very bullish, right? So this is a bullish scenario. So we opened above the close of the previous one. It's a very small thing, but that can signify a bullish trend. Now, what do we have here? We have a liquidity here. Now, this wick has been used as a rejection already, so I can consider this on the 4 hour now liquidity. That's for me. That's how I look at liquidity, because sometimes a wick is being used as a rejection block. So you need that needs to be cut out. That has been done here in this move, and now we're making our way up, most likely to take out this liquidity and go on to this N walk. We didn't reach that N walk yesterday, so we were playing around in this area yesterday. We went from this event horizon to this N walk. That was yesterday's action for a long time. That actually got me a little bit, because I wanted to, because I call it ping pong Monday or Tuesday, because what you see happening a lot is we bounce around between the N walk and the event horizon. Event horizon is the midpoint between two N walks, which is equally as important as the N walk itself. It's a liquidity magnet. So always put them on your chart if you're using the N walks. Also put the you can automate it with the indicators. So look for the indicators that have the event horizon on them and mark them. As you can see here, it's really used yesterday. And then we went back between the lower and this one. So I believe now we will go up into this area, most likely, but we'll see. I can be wrong again, right? So anyway, let me know where you guys are from. There we go. Now let's see if we can find, it's 2:51 now, so we're getting into a macro. Let's see if we can find an entry. I do have I opened my chart, my evaluation. Yes, everything is open. Anyone else has a bias already for London session NQ or gold? I'll go over gold as well. I don't see anything. Okay, it's 2:51. Okay, we entered 2:48. You can consider this a macro. 2:48. I think I'm going to enter. I'm just going to do a paper trade to warm up. Stop loss here. Let me just. Just need to warm up a little bit. Still have my first coffee, so had to deal with workers, so I'm not putting any money on the line yet. Sometimes I really need to feel, I don't know if you guys have the same. If you start your day, you just don't know. Sometimes you feel the market really, you're on tune. Everything, what you see is your analysis is correct. You're on point with your executions, and you just know you're on top. You're on. You're doing things right, and you have the confidence. Like, okay, here we go. But sometimes you just don't read the market as well as you normally do, and it's always good to figure that out and start your day with paper trading. See, and it stopped me out, but I'm getting back in because I still believe it's bullish. And that's the good thing about having this very tight stop loss. And what I do when I paper trade, I journal them as just as a normal trade, because that's how I improve my executions. So we're in a macro, obviously. Now, I don't like one-to-ones, to be honest. I don't do one-to-ones normally. I'm a distribution trader, so I do AMDs. I look for accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So this actually is not my favorite, but I do it to warm up a little bit. Now we're in the macro a couple of minutes already, and you see the price action, right? That's already telling me I got stopped out once. Paper trading, guys, still warming up with my first coffee, but that's already telling me, like, okay, I had a little bit of a wrong, and again, I'm going to be stopped. That's fine. Are we just using this to go back down, right? So, like as you can see here on the 4-hour, I marked the 4-hour inversion, and we are not getting out of the inversion now. So that's sort of like telling me maybe we're going back down. Is this maybe it? We have a wick here, then we have a lower wick just above the event horizon, and then we have another wick that is touching the bottom of the event horizon. That's actually bearish. I just noticed it while I was looking. So let me be stopped out, because that's I most likely will be stopped out. Are we going back into this range? Is this it? Is this the move? And are we going back to, remember yesterday we still had this large the gap that hasn't been closed fully. We just went in it just a tiny bit. Let me show you. I'm gonna close. Well, let me. I don't be stopped out. It's this gap here. You see this one here? So that was yesterday's. We did not fill the end walk just for a tiny. We only filled it for itsy bitsy. We went only to a 1/3 level here. You see that? Let me see. I'm going to have to make sure that you guys are eyes up. So 1/3. So we rejected from this. Well, we rejected from here, and then we went up. But are we going to go? Are we going to fill? We have to. Is this going to be filled now? So that's what I'm looking for. That's why I'm a little bit hesitant. Okay, there we go. So I was wrong on my analysis. You see that? That's always good, right? No money lost. Just two paper trades that to find out that we're bearish. And have another sip of my coffee without any with no not feeling annoyed or something. And guys, in all honesty, we are balancing here, so it doesn't really have my interest. But I love doing analysis, and Anyone else has a trade already or is looking at something specific? Let me know. You want me, guys? Is there anyone who wants me to go over gold or NQ as the preference? I don't want to go over gold if no one here is interested in gold. Let me know. Gold has been very clean. I started with gold last week. And yesterday is my first day that I actually did put some money on the line. I've tried it in my evaluation account with a micro, obviously. Because 1 point on gold is 100. No, go. Hey, go. You cannot come here. No. I'm busy. Come, Poo. You cannot lay down here now. My cat always wants to come on my desk when I'm streaming, which means that my setup will be destroyed. Hey. So if I lose my, if you see my webcam, if you see my ceiling suddenly, it's because my cat is. I try it, but I'm just a slave, and I send them away, and then they just jump. So, but anyway. Now, what are we doing? We're going back up. Okay. Let me go to the 5 minute. No, no, go, 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 go. I'm sorry, my love, but okay. Well, I guess we're bullish. I'm sorry, my. I just don't trust price action, guys. I've been stopped out twice on a bullish entry. Now we did make on the 5 minute. I see we have we entered here, but I just don't trust it yet. I just rather wait until we break. We either take liquidity somewhere or we balance out an imbalance. One of the two is fine with me. There are a lot of wicks here on the 5 minute, right? Now, why are we in consolidation? If you look to the left here, I didn't see that straight away. Like if you see this on the left side, you can anticipate consolidation almost at the same area as well. So that's why what's happening here is fine. It's we can expect that because we had consolidation here for a while. We made a move up during well, the end of Asia, we can say, right? We made a move up, so it's calming down again, so we can have some consolidation here, which is totally normal. And then we look for our AMD accumulation. And then I don't really mind accumulation if I really can identify it, because that gives me the time to identify the manipulation coming and then the distribution move, which I really, like I said, I'm a distribution trader. So I would like to identify the distribution or the manipulation and then the distribution. Now, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to identify the manipulation move, but if you can, it's awesome, because then you have the best trades, right? And the manipulation move is also the manipulation. You can calculate the fib levels from that, so it really helps you frame a very good trade. And then when time matches up with that, that's the best. So yeah, but on the 5 minute, we're in consolidation now. So until we either break this level here. Now, when you see so many wicks here, right? The question is, are we going to take all the liquidity, or are we going to reject from it again a few times, right? So are they rejection blocks, or are they all liquidity already? So that's the question. Now they seem to have been doing their job already, but let's see. I just need more information to frame a proper trade on NQ, but watching it closely. I don't see any comments on gold. I'll just go over gold, but if let's do some analysis on that too. Then we'll go back to NQ again as well. Let me know, guys, if there's anything you want me to go over, or just let me know. Just say hi. I would love that. I would love to chat with you guys. Don't be shy. I'm just joking. To be honest, I never said a lot in chats as well. I didn't. I was very shy always. You probably won't believe that if I tell you that, because I'm talking all the time. But that's I don't. I guess it's different talking to a camera when you don't see anyone than being in a group of people. True, right? So you can be an introvert and still do a YouTube channel. because you're just pretending you're talking to one person only. Hey, Liasu, yay! I got someone to say hello. How are you doing? Oh my God. You're like, oh my God, let that woman stop talking. I'll say something. How are you doing? I just, I just love it so much. I started this channel, I think it's now 6 weeks, full 6 weeks ago, and I'm meeting so many nice people. So that's the part of the thing I really like. So anyway, gold. Hey, yeah, gold is just going up. So hard to frame a good trade, right? So you really want a little bit of a retracement before we enter. I had a first very nice gold trade on Friday. It was my first time that I actually tried, and that was really, really clean. So I really loved it, but since yesterday I did not have I could not really frame a good trade, to be honest. It wasn't, I think it was really difficult to trade yesterday. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I gave it a few stabs, but I was like, oh no, it's just difficult. But yeah, this is ongoing, but the question is how far up are we going? 4 hour, look, 4 hours bullish, bullish as hell. Let me see if we can find any. We should do gold too. Yes, I'm on gold now. I'm on gold now, Liasu. I'm on gold right now. Are you seeing my screen? Let me double check if we're on the right screen. Yes, I'm on gold. Yes, I'm already going over gold. I love. I'm falling in love with gold, to be honest. Since Friday, I had my first stab. Yeah, you're fine. Where are you? Yes, I am really fine. I'm happy to do the stream again, and I'm just going. I'm a YouTuber, so I'm growing steadily, but it's just awesome so far. The first 6 weeks. You have to learn the technicals and obviously make videos. But I'm just loving it, and I just building the community. It's still small, but it's so awesome already. So I'm doing fine. And yeah, in the meantime, I was just always by myself trading, and now it's a little bit of now the trading has more meaning as well. So anyway, yeah. What about you? Where are you from? Okay, let me just try to frame the levels from in gold, because there are, even though we're all-time highs, there are ways to go over them. Um, let's see. Gold, gold, gold. Okay, we might if we go. I wouldn't be surprised if we're just gonna go all the way to 4224. I'm gonna write down a few levels. I'll go over them. Um, we might. What time is it? We're in a macro, right? Still 4224. Okay. 4224. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised we can go up to. Oh, you're a beginner actually. Good. Well, that's what I like. I'm here to help. I mean, I think it doesn't matter how long you're studying, you're never done in this market. So I consider myself a lifetime student. Um, yes, but are you in ICT, interested in ICT trading? Okay, I'm gonna frame a trade here. 4224, 422. Um, okay, you know what? I think 4224 is a good level that it might reject from. So I think it's a little bit too small. Gold has. Let me go to the 1 minute. Now gold is 100. If you do the mini, it's $100 per point. It's a lot of money, right? So even though 4224 is quite a bit of money, but we're at the end of the macro almost. So I'm always hesitant to enter. This should have been the entry here on gold. Okay, I can get rid of this one here. You see what I mean? Like it's the macro is done, right? So macro runs from 10 to the hour to 10 past the hour, but they can be extended sometimes depending on what's happening here. So I think for me, I'm too late to enter. So even though it will go to this level and reject, I think we're going to go up to here and then reject. So I just want to see, because I can't enter now. It's not a good trade for me to enter. But I do believe we are. If you're in gold, yeah, you can. I think it's safe. You still have a few more points in some juice can be squeezed out of it. Now this is the 150-210 macro. I'm busy trying to build a model, a London model. So I'm doing some investigation around that area because I made one video of it a while back, but I have to redo the video because the week that I made it, there were really, really solid moves. It would run in the 150 to 210 macro. It was a continuation, or it was clearly a manipulation. Now, what am I seeing here? Is it maybe accumulation, manipulation, and distribution to the downside? So, so Liasu, tell me, how long have you been? Okay, you're a beginner, and what are you? Is there something specific you are in your process where you want to learn, or where you're struggling with? Now, if I look at this, right, guys, this is for me a future bearish breaker. So if you're into ICT breakers, I trade the breaker a lot. If I look at this, right, now it's a manipulation. Now you can see this as a manipulation move. So what you can do is you can calculate it. You can use a fib on this one. Um, but this will be when the market, when we will go down. This looks like a very nice bearish breaker. So that means we have to close above it. Then at some point we have to go below it again, and then this is the breaker, right? Because you got a high, low, higher, high, and then we want to retest. So the moment this one becomes interesting is when we have a move down. We close below this one here. Then we want to retest, and then we want to have that trade to the downside. That's a very safe trade. But I'm already watching this, and I'm like, okay, you're gonna be very important at some point because it's a very nice structure, right? This looks like a perfect breaker formation to me. But let's see. It doesn't have to be. It can just go up and up and up, for a long time. But and we've got a lot of consolidation here. So did you notice that so here we did take minor liquidity, right? So you have these equal highs here. We took out this liquidity at 9 past the hour, and then we're done. So now we are going back into the range. But the question is, are we going to go a little bit higher at some point, or are we? Because now, oh, you just started a few weeks ago. Wow. So you're really fresh to the market. That's awesome. And are you interested in, okay, well, if you just started a few weeks ago, then make sure that you don't fall into the retail trap too much and you start learning the right stuff straight away. So that will save you a lot of time. I mean, I lost a few years because I fell into the retail trap, learning a lot of BS things, which really just only cost me to lose money, to be honest. So yeah. Now, okay, let me mark this inversion here. Wow, you're really fresh. So it must be a little bit overwhelming then, Liasu, I guess, if you just start out and there's so many things going on, right? And where do I start? What do I learn? What is the best thing? You hear so many different things. But yeah. Are there any specifics that you have that has your interest? I mean, like, well, I guess futures, otherwise you wouldn't tune into my channel. I think that's a really good thing to start with, futures, because you only have to focus on one market, either NQ, ES, or gold, whatever you has your interest. And you can use the same models and things like that on that market, right? And the levels. Um, yeah, so I think that's a good thing because if you do, I think I started with stocks, but I had to all these watch lists, and oh my God, I was just going all. You have to watch them all the time, and that was so stressful. And for me, I've been trading NQ. I just branched out to gold, but it's not really that. My setups are basically the same I do on NQ, but I do want to get to know the levels a little bit better before I really, start putting a mini gold on my using that on my evaluations or on my funded, because that's a lot of money. One point is $100 and one point on NQ is $20, so that's a big difference. But micros are perfect on NQ, on gold. You don't risk a lot of money. You can skill in, skill out a little bit more. Liasu, you're not trading with prop firms yet, I would think, right? Because if you just started a few weeks, you're still in the studying phase, I would presume. I actually hope you are. Mm. Now, we're again in gold all-time highs. The only thing you can do is use fib levels, order blocks, and calculate certain levels. But then again, it's still a little bit tricky, all-time highs. So, but hey, we're bullish until we're not anymore. For me, it's until we have a change in the state of delivery on the 15-minute, then I would start getting bearish on gold. Obviously, we can get retracements, yes, but those are just retracements to go back up further. It's just grabbing liquidity. Like for example, we go back in the range until here in this area, and then we go back up, right? So that's why you have to get a little bit careful. But now look, we are hanging out in this area. We don't have any information to the left because we're in exploration time again. So yeah. Well, Yasu, if I may give you some advice, for me everything changed when I started studying ICT. For me, that was the logic that I was looking for, and I do believe that that's how the markets book. So I think if you are still brand new and fresh, I think that's a good way to go, and then find the right group of people that are supportive, that are also in a similar situation, and find people you can trust and grow together with. But I think ICT is very solid, and whatever people say, go figure it. You need to figure out things yourself, because there's a lot of bullshit out there, a lot of people saying crap things, selling bullshit. Um, they all want your money. Not all, but a lot of people just want money. Um, so I studied from ICT for free, so I have to pass it forward for free. That's how I see it. So this channel is just, yeah. Are you studying ICT? Now to go over my how I trade. I am ICT based, but I implemented more time based analysis to it. So I've had a few other mentors after ICT. They're all ICT based, but ICT talks about time, but it's sort of limited to the macros. But time goes much further than that. So there's much more to time, because why? The algorithm is scripted against time. Why is this? Why is that? Well, you've got the x-axis and you've got the y-axis, right? Now, which one of the two cannot be manipulated? So time is the only thing that cannot be manipulated. Price can be manipulated. So if you are asking, I don't know if anyone has an IT background, but if someone would ask you, oh, could you please code the algorithm for me? You would think, okay, what's my benchmark? What am I going to script it against? So that's time, because that's the thing that time can refer back to. Because there's always the same amount of minutes. Look at gold. That's a beautiful move to the downside. Now we're no FOMO, guys, no FOMO, because we don't know what it's doing. It could just reject here in the middle and go back up, or it can move down. So we just let it go and really watch. That's patience, and patience will be rewarded always. Um, there's always the same amount of minutes in an hour. There's always the same amount of seconds in a minute, right? So, and there's certain time levels that work together. So that's why if I say I'm a time-based trader, is I'm algorithmic. I look for algorithmic signatures, and that's what ICT. That's the basic of ICT. So that's basically it. It's not that time itself is important, but time, the algorithm does specific things at a certain time. It either creates a gap, it creates liquidity, it creates an imbalance, or balances out imbalances, or grabs liquidity at specific times. So if it creates the imbalance at a specific time, it will grab it, or it balances out that imbalance at a certain time. They all work in conjunction. So that's the logic behind time-based trading. It's just studying the algorithmic signatures. So that's what I've been doing after I've studied ICT. Hey, I'm still not done studying ICT. So I need refreshers sometimes. I love what he's doing now. Yes, but that's how I trade. So if you understand that there's an algorithm, and all these swing points, if you look at those higher time, if people think that these are created by buying and selling pressure, no, you're dead wrong. These are all high frequency algorithmic, high frequency trading that create these swing points. They're all, you can calculate every one of them, and they all have a logic to each other. Okay, now look at that, guys. So you see how wicky it is. I don't like that. I don't like to trade that, because you might be right, and it might go still to that level that I said, right? But it's a little bit too wicky for me, to be honest. I don't know if you guys like this to trade. I don't. You see, it goes back and forth, and we're just consolidating, just like NQ. Now let's have a quick look at NQ again. Yes, Lilia. So I think you do. I do believe that it would be very wise to study ICT. Um, and then you have to go into the charts and look at it yourself, right? Don't take anything. I can say it, but you don't have to. Don't take anything from anyone. Just see, okay, well, it's interesting. Let me have a look at. I'll look into it and then find out your way. That's how you should do it. Because someone could trade in a specific way, which might be valid, but not because everyone has a different personality and everyone has a trading identity. You need to find that trading identity. Because some people they love ICT, but they only trade the breaker. Some people only trade an order block. Some people only trade the fair value gap. Now, I think it's best to combine a few things together, but you can just find one model and using one or two of his concepts, one or two things. It just depends really on your personality, and you need to find that, and that's you need to do that on your own. But you can get help, like finding, make things. The purpose of my channel is to help speed up people's learning curve. Let me put it that way. Um, Even though I'm still a lifetime student of the market, I've done in 3 years, I can maybe help people speed up what I've done in 3 years a little bit. So that's the point. But anyway, just saying, Liasu. So let me know if you want specifics, like where should you go and when you want to study ICT. I had some comment yesterday from one of my followers or one of my subscribers. He actually said, "Why don't you make a list for beginners for where to start with ICT?" Because he was already he has been studying YCOP and some other things, but he's also getting into ICT. But he actually gave me that comment yesterday. So Eliasu, is that something you would be interested in if I would do that? Because I just want to make content that would help people. So I would really feedback would really help me. Now, I still don't see anything. If I look at the 4 hour now, what I think with the 4 hour is doing now is just making the manipulation move to the downside, and then I think it's still very. We did take out liquidity, by the way. Looking at the 4 hour now, we took out this high here, a 4 hour high. Is it changing state of delivery? Now we have a breaker here. 326. Okay, okay, yes. But do you mean content, ICT content, the content itself, or do you mean where do I start studying ICT as a beginner? Because I do think this is okay, Liasu. Let me what I do think is that yes, people should have videos how to simplify, because ICT does have long videos, but I think everyone should have studied his core content one time themselves. And then afterwards, it's okay to go into other people's videos and take it. But I think you need to learn core content. So that's 2016 or 2017. It is 12 months, but then he goes over every basic. How does market book, IPTA, the PD arrays, all the different PD arrays. So I think that's something that one should do. And then from there on, then it's always good to go over other people's stuff. Then at least you heard it from the master himself, because he's the one who knows, right? I had one request of a person to make a video over the intermediate term highs, the short term highs, and so I'm going to make a video on that because a lot of people are struggling with that because his videos apparently are not clear for a lot of people. So I'm going to make a video on that, how to read those and how to use those. So if you guys have any more really specific topics that you're struggling with, let me know because that's also good for me to know, like, hey, people really want a video on that. So because I can make videos, I can, sometimes I'm thinking, okay, what do people want? But, there might be no interest for it. But yeah, let me know if you have any specifics that you guys are interested in. So I just have a look again. I do want to frame a trade at some point, but I need a little bit more time. Hey, Casey! Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? Okay, got you, Liasu. The content should be like pathways or guidelines for beginners on how to go about it. Yes. Yeah, it's so overwhelming. So, Liasu, Casey, who just got in, is also quite new. Casey, how long have you been trading? Um, Casey is really, I mean, it was a short time, but he's already going into the evaluation phase and good up from Asia. So I locked myself. Oh, good for you! Wow, on NQ or gold? Yeah, about 6 months or so. Yeah. Would you like to share? Because Liasu, he's new and he just started. Where you started to gain knowledge? Where did you start to where did you start your journey of studying? Because Casey's doing. I can, guys, I can tell you honestly. Because he shared his trades, and I was like, what? That's impossible for someone who's been so short in the market. So, yeah, Casey, I would love to hear how you start. I know his dad helped him a bit, but hey, that's still not an. I mean, that might be helpful, but then again, I'm sure he also did a lot of studying himself. Okay, NQ is starting to because I'm still bullish because a 4 hour is very bullish to me still. Now, yes, we did take out this liquidity, but are we going to go all the way down? We're still in that 4 hour inversion, I would say. And let's see. Yeah, I think we have to wait until I think the range is a little bit contracted now. Um, let's wait till three. Let's wait another 8 minutes and then see what price is going to do. Okay. Thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you hanging in with me, hanging in there like it's a. I appreciate you, everyone, hanging out with me. Let me put it that way. I still need more coffee, I guess. Yeah. I just love this. I just love this, this channel and growing it and getting to know more people and stuff like that. It's just, I can't say it enough. I think it's one of my best decisions of, yes, of this year, I would say. And in all honesty, I would never have done it if a prop firm would have hired me and they made me, well, they didn't make me go on YouTube, but that was part of the deal. But I went on with other coaches, and that was my first time that I actually was on it. And then I thought, oh, I really love it. But I was a little bit too, not rebellious, but there were a lot of rules because you work for a prop firm. I had to have a black screen. I couldn't say this, I couldn't say that, and I was having a little bit of trouble with that. So that lady that hired me, she said, "Listen, you need to go start your own YouTube channel." And she really pushed me actually. So if it wasn't for them, I might have never gone do it. So I'm very grateful still for that. But sometimes you need to push. So anyone who's just thinking about it, just do it. I really started seeing it on TikTok, but learning support and resistance on higher temper is where I started since watching your streams. I'm learning ICT now, but Humble Trader on YouTube. Yes, Humble Trader, she's in the game a long time. I actually watched her many, many years ago. That's actually one of my first people that I watched when I still was doing stocks. Yes, definitely. And I know she's very honest. And I don't know if she's trading ICT, but I would at that time I don't think so. But I know she's been around, and yeah. But thank you, Casey, for the compliment that you're learning from my channel. I love that. But you're doing really well. I'm very proud of you. But yeah, we got to keep on adding. Just little things that you can that helps you, like the end walls, use the opening range gaps, use the macros, things like that. Understand when it's in consolidation, you stay out. Now, how do I when why am I not interested in this area now? Why? Well, because we defined the range, right? We are in this range. We took out a little bit liquidity, but it doesn't mean anything if we go back into the range and start consolidating again. So that's why I don't get interested when I see one move like this, because, you see again, we're just going back and forth. We're still in this range. And this is just such a tiny liquidity grab. It doesn't mean a lot. So, and if I'm looking at the higher time frame again, that's why I always have this on. We're just hanging out in the top of this. So for me, it's like, okay, are you ready to go? Yes, we took out this wick here, but is it enough? Because I see this as a continuation candle for now, but I could be wrong. So I just need more information on this. But 4 o'clock will give good information. And you see, Casey, this event horizon, the midpoint of those two N walks, how it's rejecting, how it's hanging out in this area. So you really want more information. Either I want to see a body going over this and go to the next N walk, or that it really rejects from here and goes down. So that's how for me, it's still not, I'm just not, it's not clear enough for me to really put my money on the line at the moment. So, RG, 10. Hey, RG. What do you mean 10? Clarify your 10. I actually don't know what you mean by 10, so I don't know what to say, what to comment on that. But Okay, let's check gold again, guys. Is anyone? Oh shit! Look at that. We just missed that. Wow. Thank you, RG. I appreciate that. Just starting out and trying to build I want to focus on more quality and a little bit, it's not about, it was the wrong window. Am I in the wrong window? Hold on. Okay, no, I'm not. Yeah, my focus is on quality and not quantity. So also, I would rather have slow grow and with the right people, and focus on quality content and really making it educational as possible, but also fun at the same time. So that's the aim. And I'm just, when you're beginning, you make mistakes and you have to figure out, some things. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Okay, yes, great. Gotcha. Yes. Well, that's for Liasu, market structure from Michael. Yeah, episode 12. You know, I've done core content twice, and 2022 at least once, and some things twice as well. But yeah, I mean, um, so um, yeah, nothing. I mean, it is where for me where things start to click, and I'm still studying a lot of things about. I mean, there's still so much to study, right? Anyway, what I want to point out, guys, is what I use in my fib. If I calculate fibs, I use the 125 and the 175 a lot. A lot of people, I've never seen it, but it works quite well, especially on the higher time frame. You will see a lot of the time at the 125 on the higher time frame that you get a retracement, and obviously at the 2.5 and the 4 as well. But yeah, just start testing that a little bit. You'll see it really. I started seeing it and I'm like, okay, interesting. So and you see here, well, it is a wick, but accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So if this is accumulation, if this is the manipulation, are we going to get the distribution to the upside? Hey, we're in an uncharted territory. Um, I think the gold entry would have been here at 3 o'clock, but then you had to sit all through this. It's going up. Now, guys, this is one of an algorithmic signature that is very, very, very important. If you see a flat body with a wick, there is a very high possibility that you're just going to get a manipulation in this wick, and this will reject from here. Why? This is lack of manipulation, and well, let's see what happens if it does it now. It doesn't do it straight away most of the times. A lot of the times it does it a little bit later, but let's see if it does it now. So this means there's no wick, right? So it needs a little bit of manipulation. So let's see if this candle just wicks to it and then goes down. Remember that I had my TP on gold was around 424-ish. So I'm still interested in this level for maybe a move to the downside. Let's see if we get this little wick here, and then I might be interested in a short on gold, but it will be a scalp because it's bullish. It's just bullish as hell, and I wouldn't go against the trend normally, but in this case, NQ is still consolidating. We don't have any interest in NQ. We just leave that for the time being. We'll look at NQ later when NQ is yeah. It seems to be making now liquidity, right? Trendline liquidity. Oh, and RG, everything is highly manipulated. And Q, I know that gold even more because I'm looking for the models that I am trading, and I've noticed that. But um, you, I think it's I think the best thing to go about it is to think everything is highly manipulated. And like actually ICT said in one of his latest videos, like if people think that Bitcoin is deregulated and you have no, the drop that we had just indicates that all charts, all charts are everything that's controlled by a chart is in control by the money, by the people that are, and by very few. So I think no one should make the assumption that nothing is manipulated. Everything is highly manipulated, and we are just the only thing we can do is just try to find a little bit of an edge and make sure that you have a solid model. But yeah, it's just it's crazy how actually if you start understanding that, right, how that a few very small amount of people control basically the whole world by controlling the charts. But hey, because they do, we do have an edge because we can study the algorithm and we can identify what they are doing at some point. So I guess it's sort of a good thing in a way, don't you think, RG? I had issues yesterday reading the market very well, to be honest. Um, yeah. So now what it's doing again is just creating trend line liquidity. So that's gonna, yeah. um, yes, please. Could push to 42.34. 42.34. Why would that be a case? You think because it's two and a half, 2.34. Casey has some secrets things that he's using now. Let me go. What's your how do you get to that level, Casey? I would love to know. Let me see if I can find any more information as well. I think it could even higher, Casey. Gold. We're over one extended. We could go to 41-ish, or maybe even 54 or 42.92. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I got you, RG. Maybe that's a good point what you're making. I think that's a very solid point. Now I got really bored with ES, so that's why I'm on NQ. But if in this market right now, because I had issues really yesterday, and I was like, why? Normally I can read the market very, you can feel it when you're on, when you're on top of things, right? And sometimes you can, okay, this market. But then again, I think it's maybe challenging for a lot of people. So we actually should just only focus on paper trading. If you still elect to teach gold, I would humble suggest incorporate to look for intermarket relationships. Isn't so? Do you look for DX? I look at DXY all the time, also for NQ, but like we use ES with for SMT. How do you use DXY then in cooperation with gold? Is it similar how you use DXY in relationship to NQ, or because is it inverse relationship, or is it more that you use it as SMT, or do you use I thought you used silver with SMT for gold, or am I? Because I'm still learning, right, with gold. So would you say if DXY goes up, then we can trust the short on gold? Is that what you're saying? Because I use S&T for, yeah, okay, gold and you have an inverse, okay, gotcha, okay. So it's not silver, but do you use silver with gold as S&T, like we use with NQ and gold, NQ and ES? I was still wondering if somebody, mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I don't trade my long moves. I don't trade any move without S&T on NQ because it's very solid. Because you need that it's a market manipulation, right? What they do. So that's why you really want that SMT on NQ. But thanks. I will incorporate that. I do have a DXY screen open, but I think that's a good thing to make people aware of because you don't want people to have losing trades, right? Um, let me check. Thank you, RG. Okay, so you have been trading, so you never look at, okay, so that's I was really looking for that information. Okay, I should, okay. Okay, so you use DXY with gold, but not, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I do agree. If you would teach people something, you have to use the safest way, or let people know that they have to look at that as well to make sure that it's safe. So I think I totally agree with you, because it's all about managing risk, right? And I think if you do take the position as someone who shares information, it has to be information that is the safest way and then people can decide for themselves if they not use it or do use it. But that's why I try to also focus on a bit of mindset, but also show patience. Like, hey, I don't trust it at the moment. I'm not taking a trade, or I'm just paper trading right now. I'm totally not ashamed of saying I'm paper trading. I don't care if people are annoyed by it. And there's nothing wrong with paper trading because I journal them just as I would trade it because that's how I improve my executions. Because hey, I'm still you're a I think I'm a lifetime student of the market. So let me have a look at DXY. Yes. Okay. Hold on. Let me open up a new tab here. DXY. Well, that looks very bearish to me now. I think we broke. We have a change in safe delivery on the 1 hour even. Let me look at the 15. Yeah, that's bearish. It's in a sell program. No, I know it's not. I do it on a different one. You want me to put it on there? I'll put it on here. Hold on. You know why I did it like this? Okay, I'll do it. Yes, you're right. Let's do some. We've got someone who knows a lot about it, so we're gonna the TVC. There we go. I'll put on the 15-minute, right? Because that's I think the best. Here we go. It's definitely in a sell program at the moment, I would presume, but we took out liquidity here. But your point is because the dollar has been going down, we had this move up, so this move down is made it more clear to you that gold will be going up, right? So you would say if now we have taken out liquidity here, we're in this suspension block, I would presume. Yes, go ahead. No, RG, please, I love your being active and helping. Please make a top-down post from weekly going down to. You mean on the dollar? Okay, from the. Well, let's start with the monthly then. Well, on the monthly, I would say we are in consolidation now a little bit, right? So this has just been going back and forth. So we had a move down all the way from February to June, and now we're sort of like I would say consolidating on the monthly. Then weekly, well, obviously, if the monthly, I would say we're still in a range here. Note all the important liquidity pools, the primary and the minor ones. Okay, we've got. Let me go back to the monthly again. I just want a little bit higher time frame because. Okay, there's a little gap here. We filled this imbalance here. Oh, it's almost 4 o'clock. I have to go back to NQ at 4. Hold on. We are on a beautiful OTE level here. So I would assume we could go up from here. But we did have. Look at the only last 3 months. Yes, consolidation. It's just consolidating. We took out liquidity here. We have a doji here, liquidity. Weekly. Daily. Yeah, look at this. It's just, I mean, we're just stuck in this range. Okay, now you go. I have to go back to my other chart because my 4 o'clock is starting. I'll get back to the DXY, but I'll get back to it. RG, I appreciate your, but I don't want to miss my 4 o'clock because that's one of my important times. I'm just gonna go back now to NQ. Hold on. But to be honest, I did do a lot on the on the DXY when I was doing NQ, but for some reason, at some point, there was a lot of times that they were not correlated, or that it didn't work, and then I stopped doing it. And I thought, because I'm reading the order flow, I do use SMT, but I stopped really. I do look at it quickly, but I stopped really doing it the way I used to do it, because if you read order flow correctly, it still gives you more information than. Oh, hold on now. What happened here? Okay. Now this was actually the move I didn't want to make. No, it's okay. Thank you. I appreciate it, because I do agree with you. You need to look at things, but now at 4 o'clock there's a lot of time to get an influx of liquidity, right? You can see it happening here again. Now we're moving out of this. This is the 4-hour inversion. I'll show you again. And I've said from the beginning, I see this 4-hour as a bullish candle. So I wanted to get over the body. I want this body over the 922. And then I will frame a trade from here to here. Then I get interested. Because until now, even though we're going up, yes, I might be interested, but I'm not. It's for me a little bit unsure what it's doing. But this is why I want to see the 4 o'clock. Because now it's giving me more information. And if the body is over this, that is the event horizon, which is the midpoint of these two end walks, then I know we're really bullish and we are going for liquidity or to an imbalance, right? Or just go to the end walk, which is a liquidity point. So because it's bullish, you need to frame like, okay, where is it going to go? It might just take this high here. But again, we still have this fair value gap. That's why I'm not 100% sure. So I'm just letting this run. You know, that's why I wanted to actually see, can I frame a trade right here? But, you know, now also, this is the first presented fair value gap of London. I also used the first presented of London. This is very bullish now. I've got some leaf blowers. I think I need to close my windows. Do you guys hear the leaf blowers and the noise? Is it okay? Or is it bothering you guys? Okay. See, if you have consolidation, a lot of the times you wait till 4 o'clock in London, and then you get a lot of your time, your move starts. Let me see. I really, really, really want to. So let's see now if the body goes over or it's going to reject here. Now we have a flat bottom, a flat top with a wick, right? Let's see if it's going to reject from here. So that will be just over. So it's 4:03. Now when you have a continuation move, so the macro started 10 to the hour to 10 after the hour, right? But long at 4223, just to pay to plan to hold that. Oh, you're in okay. I'm in NQ right now. Okay, so oh, I'm really curious. Yeah, it's going. I know. Paper trade. Yeah, good. Just paper trade. You know, don't care about if you it's not real money because you learn so much from it. Um, so it started at 354 the run, right? Then at 3 past or 4 past the hour, be careful because it's sort of like it can stop the move already or reverse. So you want to really just, if you haven't entered yet, you want to reassess. You want to just look how it's going to react from here. Now, I would have loved to see it go into this wick, then I would know it could reject, but now I'm still not sure. I need to check something. See, this time I'm doing two things. I'm not so, I am normally, I know NQ by head, everything, because I have been trading it like very comfortably, and now I have to divide my time between the two, and now I have to look into the levels a little bit more. Okay, now let's see. 12. Who else is some more people are in gold, or are more people interested in NQ at the moment? Okay, look at NQ going. 940. Okay, let's see. Okay, why did I enter the trade? Why am I confident now in this move? It wicked all the way over this wick already, so it's going to use this macro to finalize the move. But I'm going to throw my stop very fast. Okay. Okay, we took liquidity though. We're at the end of the macro. I just want to see one more spike up. Or are you done for this macro? Could be. It's 4-7. Yeah, I think I should not do it now. I should get out. Yeah, let me get out. Yeah. Okay, so let's wait. Let's see, we get a nice retest here, and then because I wanted to go over this. Time is just not right for me at the moment. It's just a little bit too late. I missed the entry here. 4 past 4. Actually, the entry should have been here. 4 o'clock. We've got the manipulation move here. So this would have been my trade. At 4 o'clock printed. We had a manipulation move in the breaker. And that's where you enter because this is the breaker here. This blue thing. So let me mark it. So this is my breaker retest trade in conjunction with my 4 o'clock. And especially in the if the 4 o'clock does that, you can expect that move being a solid move. So that's why I'm always, I'm on top of breaker. Okay, let me just quickly change that. 1 minute. You see this breaker here, the blue line, the blue candle. It got activated at 3:58. Then you have this candle, and then the 4 o'clock here, Prince 4 o'clock. You see, I marked the 4 o'clock because I use the 4 o'clock a lot in my analysis. And it's this retest here, boom. You just I normally just market order in, and then it runs. Now, where would I have taken my TP in this case? I would get out somewhere in this area. I would use time. So let me give you a little bit of hello, Badr Filali. How are you? Now, let me share you something that I have learned about macros, and I think you should write it down, and you should backtest it yourself. So like I said, if you see already a continuation move starting in the beginning of the macro, right? So let's say the move already starts here. So 354, you can see clearly, you get a large distribution candle, and then you have a run up. Now, do not trust it to run all the way at the end to your macro. So even though the macro goes from 10 to the hour to 10 past the hour, if you just want to have a quick scalp, yes, it will go higher, but we just want to get in and out, right? If you see a downwards candle at 3 past the hour or 4 past the hour, you just want to get out. Why? Because it had a run already starting at 3:54, and this is one at 3 past 4, right? So you just get out and you take it. Yes, because sometimes, yes, it will. I think it will go further up now, but sometimes it just ends here and then it goes back into the range, and then you're stuck here. You give back from your profits. But that is when you already when it already used most of the macro time already, and especially when it activated the breaker in that. Hey, Casey, it hit. Good for you. When it hits, so you see the activation of the breaker is in the macro. There's a lot of things happening already in this macro. So, did somebody just subscribe? Was that? Oh my God, you guys, everybody's subscribing. I hear this, oh yes, green mood, green. Now I see, I don't see, oh, yay! Guys, I'll tell you one thing. I've been trying to get, if people subscribed, I wanted to have that on my screen, but this is the first time that I'm seeing it. So thank you guys for subscribing, and for the people that subscribed before that I didn't thank you, I didn't see it, but I have 81 subscribers, and I think I had 75 before this stream. So thank you. I appreciate it. I'm humbly appreciated. Thank you. But anyway, I just want to point out that the macros, if you have a long run already, be careful. Do not trust that it will run all the way to the end of the 10 past. That's because there has been a lot happening already in this macro. And yes, we might miss a few trades, guys, now, but I would rather, this information will really help you. If you can understand this structure, the breaker, so for me, that's one of my favorite trades. Breaker, activation, retest. Now it's a very small retest right here. But that's why I said, oh, it's 4 o'clock. I want to have a look, because for me that is, I understand that signature very well because I've been studying and trading it for a long time. I don't need a lot. I just need this wick, right? So I was a little bit late, so I didn't take the trade, but that's fine. I don't care. I would rather show it properly to you guys so you can understand it. Who in the chat trades the breaker, is aware of the breaker, ICT breaker? So Liyasu, if you're still here, I would really want to advise you to study the breaker first. It's one of the strongest PD arrays. Now, the first one would have been the inversion, right? You could have entered here. The breaker is just the second, your confirmation. And if you're not that trading that long, you use the breaker retest, and then I was already looking at this. I was okay. We already have an inversion here, retest. That's the first, but they can fill. But if you have this one and the retest, you know it's a solid trade to the upside. You can take it very comfortably, and it's a market maker buy model, right? So you have the sell side, and it finalizes the buy side to the upside. So breaker retest, 4 a.m. Mark the 4 a.m. on your chart, guys. Yes. And you see here now we're done with the move. We have, again, I'll give you another gem because I love you guys. I love it. And I love that people are subscribing and helping me, and I can help you guys. Flat top with a wick. And look what happened here. Now the body did go over it. Normally this could be a rejection block, but it took out the liquidity. Now I think the difference is that the body already went over this body, but normally when you see a body below this body, so flat top candle with a wick here, you'll see it reject most of the times. But now because we see this, I think we are going higher. Price is just going higher. So let's see. I think I'm interested in a trade again. I think I need to take a trade. But so Casey, I want to see gold, by the way. I want to see how gold is doing. God, I'm so excited. I'm missing all the trades now. 416. Yeah, we're running. We're gonna run. We're gonna take this liquidity, and maybe even go higher. But be careful now here. It's, for me now entering it, I have to learn a little bit. That's something I do need to improve. Like if I'm really going into explaining things and trading at the same time, it's a little bit difficult for me. So I hope you guys are taking advantage of that somebody took this trade and is still in it. But there is a liquidity level at 946. So there's still 10 more points to go. 946. Is it going for the liquidity level? Yeah, we're going up to this NWOG again. I mean, this is it's a structure that it uses. 959-ish. Then we go daily high at 963. 963. Okay, now be careful here on NQ. Note the M1, the 357 propulsion block inside a macro after a qualified market structure shift inside a market maker by. If I may chip, yes, of course, please do, RG. I love that. Propulsion block inside a macro, the 357, the 357. No, I love that things. If people would do that, because that we learn together, right? That's how we grow. The 357. Yes. Yes. There's a lot happening in this area, right? So it's for me, it's this retest of the 4 o'clock inside. But yeah, RG has a good point as well. There's a lot happening in this area here. we've got the breaker activated, we've got a retest, there's a propulsion block, we've got a change in the state of delivery. Also was it within the macro? I would say so, yes. Technically, we can, when the macro starts running sometimes, um, you can actually move it 5 minutes before, right? If things happen, like this 3:48, yeah. Now, this is RG. Where would you say the change in state delivery was on this? Would it be, which one would you use? Would you say I would use this side, or would you say for me it doesn't? I would say it's in this scenario, because you have the breaker here, I consider this an inversion, but it's a little bit a weird structure, right? I would actually not go, even though I would look at this inversion, I would not take it until I see this structure here and then this candle here. I would say, then I would consider it, okay, it was a retest. I would consider this here, this candle here, but normally you want it to be on this side, but because we've got these gaps, I don't know. But there's a lot of things happening, and this was a very good point. Now, yes, but where would that order block be? Because I see this as a more proper order block than this area here, because of the gap here. That's my question. You see what I mean? Like, we've got the inversion here. I would consider the inversion normally as a solid. That's normally the start. You can consider that as well. But because of the gap here, yes, exactly. So so I totally. So because of that, I was like, okay, this one is a little bit high, right? So it's actually higher than the breaker. So in that case, I would not use these as the change in state of delivery. I would just wait, because when the time I went back into the dollar, I didn't see anything here that was really had my interest. But then I would go in when I see these two formed. I would consider this one for me to be more easy to read than this area here, and this is lower than the breaker here. So I would go to the 352. Do you understand my logic? So I don't, so I would have framed this as it's changing before the breaker was activated, but it's more to the right. It's a little bit of a weird structure actually. So I would see this here already as a change in the state. Yeah, exactly. So for me, it was a hard read here to really frame it, because I was looking at, oh, why, when, you know. So, but hey, also in the breaker, right? Yeah. So exactly. In the macro. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I totally agree. I am sometimes struggling with that as well. But yeah, and you know what? You mentioned the propulsion block. And that's one of the PDOAs I don't use a lot. I do know, I notice how they, we need a, obviously when we have an extension day, we have a retest of it, right? But I'm going to do a refresher on that and maybe make a video on that, because it's very powerful. And I think, especially on when we have extension days, when prices keep on going up, keep on going up, keep on going up, you need the propulsion block to be able to trade them. And then those days are not so difficult to trade. If you identify, oh, we've got a ranging day just going up, it's just going up, up, up. and you understand, you can identify that very quickly. You can trade those days, and especially with gold now, I think that's very good to get into. But it's 4:24. I think I'm going to leave it here now, guys. I need to do some stuff, but I'll be back. And maybe I'll start a stream earlier today. I framed it at 10, but I think I can start earlier. I want to thank everyone so much for hanging out with me. And I didn't take a trade today, unfortunately. But I do think, just going over NQ quickly, I do believe we are going up further because we're still in the 4-hour bullish candle. So the 4 hours is going to go till 6 o'clock. So I do think we will range to the upside until 6 o'clock. But be aware, just like TGIF. TGIF is not only on Friday. That means the retracement of a candle, right? The 20, 30, 40% range. So I do believe we will go to the upside, but be aware that there will be a retracement on the 4-hour candle. But that's what I think, but I could be wrong because I'm looking at it again. And we are now hovering above, but you wanted to see the bodies above the event horizon. So once the body is above the event horizon, so I would go to the lower time frame in this situation. Let's go to a 15 minutes, because at least you have a higher time frame. Like the 15-minute is done in 5 minutes. You want the body to be close above this for bullish price action. If that's the case, you can frame your trade to the upside or continuation to the upside because we got more liquidity here. And make sure if you are doing this trade that you look for yeah, but it's not only liquidity pools, but also first presented fair value gaps. So there is a liquidity here, but there might be, if you are aiming for the NWOC, be aware there might be other pools of things here as well, like first presented fair value gaps. Do we have a lot of things here? Well, we've got a fair value gap here, and use the wicks, like ICT said, these wicks are important. Let's see on the 1 hour, by the way. See, I can talk about charts all day, guys. I just love doing it. So and I love RG. Thank you for all your interaction. I love that. I hope to get you back on as well and keep it going. And anyone who has comments, just keep it going. And hey, listen, I don't know everything. I need to. There's always things that you could improve or learn from. Okay, well, and that's not important now. No. Well, but anyway, I do believe we're going up. I am bullish on NQ. So just be aware, and like RG says, look at the liquidity points. We've got liquidity here, and look on the lower time frame. And yeah, we're over the event horizon. So keep it going. I'll quickly have a look at GC before we head out. Let's see. Oh, Casey, did you take a short? I'm sure he did. I think Casey took a short. Oh, you locked yourself out, did you not? And let's see, RG, dollar must be going up, right? Let's see if it's indices. Yeah, see, it's a little bit hard to read in this case. The dollar it's still a little bit consolidating, but gold is, yeah, I don't think it's just a retracement. I just don't think we're really seeing, we're having, yeah. But guys, I want to thank you so much for today. I hope to see you again later on today. I'll be back. I'll change the time. Keep an eye on Yeah, dollar must at least consolidate, but better if it's already in a qualified buy. Yeah, I don't see that really in the dollar at the moment. But I'll start incorporating the dollar just at least to know what it's doing a little bit better, because I sort of like, in all honesty, RG, when I started really, I've traded NQ for 3 years now. I'm really married to NQ, and I sort of like get to the levels and the way how it behaves. So at some point, I sort of like didn't read into the dollar too much because of my well, it's weird to say the intimate relationship with NQ. But if you really trade something at such a intensive level for 3 years nonstop, you sort of like get to know it really well. So I sort of like moved to the backside. But I think you're totally right when you incorporate gold, and that gold is highly, maybe even more manipulated than NQ. It is good to have these things that you use on the side to frame your trade, right? And to, most important, to have less risk, because that's all about. You need less risk on the table. So that's the most important thing. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. And again, I want to thank you so much. And I actually want to trade, but I haven't gone to it. I'm sure there'll be enough. I mean, the markets are really, I love it that how the markets are running now. So that gives us a lot of information for the AM PM session. I might even do a marathon session in the. It's raining here. I mean, we've got really bad weather, so I'm not even going out. So I might do a marathon session for the AM PM lunch session. Who cares? So and then we'll see. So for now, thank you again, and I'll see you guys soon in later today, I hope. And trade safe. But everything is bullish, not financial advice. Ciao, ciao. Love you all.